Question number 8, the Honourable Maryan Street.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and asks, why has the primary focus of overseas development assistance shifted from poverty elimination to sustainable economic development? And can he assure New Zealanders that overseas aid is being delivered in accordance with the highest ethical standards?
The Honourable Mary McCulley.
Speaker, I've said on many occasions that there is no debate about whether we want to alleviate poverty. The question is, how do we alleviate poverty? With finite resources available to us, we need to make choices about the sort of assistance that is best likely to change the lives of aid recipients in a sustainable way. It's the government's approach that overseas aid should always be administered in a way that meets high ethical standards.
The Honourable Maryan Street.
To the Minister, why is the New Zealand government contributing to the building of a ski field in war-torn Afghanistan, which is largely inaccessible to tourists? And how many people are estimated to be lifted out of poverty as a result of this project?
The Honourable Mary McCulley.
Speaker, the New Zealand government spends approximately $10 million a year in development assistance in Afghanistan. Most of that is centred around education and health, but I'm trying to ensure that we shift more of it into agricultural capacity building and energy support. There is a small component that has been in the program for the last couple of years that relates to tourism development around the Maryan area. It's part of an overall program.
The Honourable Maryan Street.
Further supplementary. How many jobs have been created in Niue as a result of the $78,000 tourism development contract given without a tender process to former National MP Mark Blumsky? And how many people in Niue have been lifted out of poverty through that initiative?
The Honourable Mary McCulley.
Mr Speaker, the contract that Mr Blumsky has is our High Commissioner. It's a normal arrangement that is at the behest of the Minister. Before Mr Blumsky took up that contract as High Commissioner, he spent a period doing lead-up work on the development program. Okay? If that's what the member's talking about. Can I tell the member that the former Prime Minister Helen Clark took me aside when I was appointed to this role to discuss one issue that concerned her above all others, and that was the state of the relationship with Niue. And as a consequence, this government has put a good deal of effort into making sure we put in place a program that is going to develop a tourism sector in that country. Can I report to the member that Mr Blumsky, as our High Commissioner, is coordinating that program in a most effective fashion?
The Honourable Maryan Street.
Mr Speaker, what reassurance can the Minister give that the appointment of sitting National MP John Hayes to the panel which disperses the contestable Sustainable Development Fund will not result in those funds being allocated to National Party cronies?
The Honourable Mary McCulley.
Speaker, I can assure the member that the funds will be tendered for by NGOs, not by cronies of either the Labour Party or the National Party. But can I say this? As far as the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Foreign Affairs is concerned, I've revived a practice that was initiated by Sir Donald Mackinnon, my august predecessor, in the 1990s. I'm informed that a range of senior members of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee have sat on the panel that administers those funds, including, in fact, I'm told, the current Minister of Defence in his former capacity as a former member of the Select Committee. I think it is a good practice to have a senior person. In Mr Hayes's case, we have a former diplomat, a person who was in charge of the Pacific Division of the Ministry, a person who was in charge of the overall aid program, former ambassador to Tehran, and former High Commissioner to Papua New Guinea, in which capacity he brokered the Bougainville Accords. I can't think of anyone better qualified to judge these matters than Mr Hayes.
Question number 9, Melissa Lee.